As you might know, I just moved from Germany to the States and I always dreamt of having a garage this size right next to the house. But this garage definitely has seen better days. So it's time for a makeover because this is definitely going to be one of the places where I'm going to spend most of the time. So I already bought some supplies. My plan is to put a wall in here so that we have some storage behind that. I need to get rid of all of that junk. And then on this side, I would also put a little wall on that area where there's no black. So I guess the first step is to move everything out, organize it, and then we can start working on the wall.
Can we make a deal? We're running out of time. You can rule illumination if we can keep the night. Turn the sun away, paint the moon in black. If we can do what we do best, we're nocturnal lions. And another thing, we did the best we could. Don't know about you, but that must be good. Turn the sun away, wrap the moon in ice. If we can do what we do best, we're nocturnal lions.
All right, I finally have everything outside. Now it's time to give the garage a proper clean because I think that hasn't been done in quite a while. Especially if you look in the corners, it is quite filthy. I finished cleaning this place. Now, before we put in the walls, I want to do one last job, and that is to solve this noise. So to get rid of that, I 3D printed these wheels that will run in here, and that hopefully gets rid of the noise. Okay, I hope that works. I would say that's an improvement. This, by the way, was my elaborate plan to calculate what I need for all of the walls. I measured twice, but in the imperial system, so I think I should double check if everything fits. Right, I've got these on the wall and also on that side, so I could test fit all of the panels. The floor is a lot more crooked than I initially thought, and I thought I would be very exact, and I didn't leave a lot of room up here, so that means that some of the boards don't fit, which means I need to adjust all of the tops. I'm finally done with adjusting all of the panels. What a pain. The only thing that I had were the most basic tools. I had a drill and then like a multi-purpose cutting disc for the angle grinder. But I think it worked out fine. So now let's put on some paint. I've got this off-white, which I don't know if it's gonna be too bright, but we have to see. You can be the judge of that. That's definitely gonna take a while. That's the first one done. Now I just have like 20 more. I finished all of the walls. Everything has 2 layers of paint. So now we can put them on the walls, and in preparation for that, I put this in all of the cracks right there, because when it rained, it would always drip through there, and you can see how badly this is all rotten away. I wanted to make sure that this is all sealed so that it doesn't rot anymore and you can't see it because the walls are on. All right, the walls are installed. I've got 3 of these LED light strips. My plan is to put them on each of these beams that go across. I mean, it's not the most beautiful light for recording, but I think it's okay for the time being. All right, I've got the 3 ceiling lights installed, which is a very easy and simple solution. But not only those, I also have my studio light, which I have been using for the whole process now. I set up those 2, and then I also set up this light, which is now a overhead light for the desk, which I just found while I was moving into the garage. It was already here, so I'm just gonna use it. And then I also put this big, heavy file cabinet in this corner right here. I found this the other day at a thrift store for 25 bucks, and that is an amazing deal because I looked at other tool cabinets and they start at like 10 times that price. So I need to customize it a little bit, but the printer is already printing parts for it, so we can now go ahead and sort out all of the tools which are over here. And the 2 tools that I'm most excited about are the Everlast welder, which I'm excited to test that out, but I need something to weld, so I'm gonna leave it in the box for now. And then the other company that was so kind to support the channel is Proxon, and I've been using Proxon for my whole life. My dad had this exact kit, the metric in the metal box. I actually wanted to be cheap and save some money because it still hurts that I had to leave so many tools back at home and I could only bring what is in this box right here. So I wanted to save money, but saving money on tools, I figured, never really makes sense. It's just so annoying. I got this set. It was one of the cheapest ratchet sets and it just didn't feel right. It wasn't fun to work with. So I'm very, very happy about this kit. And then I noticed that if I do the front end conversion, I can't only use Imperial sockets. I also will have some metric parts on the bike. So that's when I went out and got myself this one. So this is the one that I actually paid for. Those will go up here since I will be using those every day. Another thing that is very, very important on a bench, workbench setup is in this box. And that is a vise. And good vices are also super, super expensive, but Vevo makes some apparently high quality tools. It's a relatively big vise and this was like 50 bucks. So for the size of it and the sturdiness, I think that was a very, very good deal. Where I also started with cheap tools and then noticed that it doesn't work. A cordless drill and an angle grinder. So yeah, I'm very happy that I could go with 2 high quality brands. DeWalt for the cordless drill just because I have one in Germany and I can use the big battery when I go back. And then a Bosch angle grinder, and this one is actually an upgrade to the one that I had at home. The one that I had at home was 40 bucks off Amazon, also Bosch. It got the job done, but this one has variable speeds and it's just like a lot heavier. And it's only beginning of April and it's already so warm. I'm sweating my balls off. So let's quickly progress. In the first drawer, we have drills, drill bits. Then I 3D printed these brackets for the angle grinder discs. I also 3D printed these trays for the digital caliper and these other things. A bucket for the pens, a holder for the paper towels. Second drawer, all of the pliers, the files, and these 3D printed brackets for all of the tape. Third drawer gets a little bit messier, but I'm also 3D printing brackets for the can. And then in the bottom drawer, I just have the angle grinder, the impact wrench, and the DeWalt charging kit. We have the bike back inside and a nice setup, so I guess now it's time to start the build. And the first project that I want to tackle is the rear wheel conversion. I ordered a 19-inch spoked rear wheel, also chain conversion kit and a new brake disc as well as new tires. So I can't wait to finally start this Sportster off-road build with you guys. But this had to be done first, something a little bit out of the ordinary, but I hope you enjoyed it anyways. And with that being said, thank you very much for watching and I'll see you in the next one.